Today on the rural project we're putting a ditch down Slippery Hill. So welcome back to the rural project. Today's job is as you can see, heading down Slippery Hill. So what I'm going to do is now I've got the excavator back up and running, I'm going to actually work my way back up this hill, cutting in the drainage ditch just to the side, sort of through the middle of this where Bailey is. I'll also eventually put one on this side as well, so basically any of the water that comes down the hill before it gets onto this road, I want to capture it in a ditch and keep it off this access road. Right, let's get the 3 or 4 fired up and get into this. Just swapped out the mud bucket for the digging bucket. Right, so let's get down Slippery Hill and get some of this ditch dug. I say that's so nice knowing that every time you start the excavator now it's going to actually start. I'll actually start here and work my way down this time. Dog will chase sticks and eat mud till he's exhausted. Halfway down now. As you can see, it's turning out not too bad at all. This it'll look very different obviously once I've brought the excavator up and down a few times with the dozer blade on, just trying to pull some of this dirt from this side over, or I may even put the mud bucket back on and scrape some of that dirt over. But I'm not too worried about that as such, because I'm going to put a ditch on this side, so there'll be a similar amount of dirt pulled from that side onto the access road as well, thus lifting the height of the road and hopefully getting it out of the water. So any water that falls on it will run off to the sides. But let's keep going. Not too far to go now, and one side will be complete. Yes, we're getting on really well here. As you can see, we're not far off finishing now. So I'm actually going to continue this ditch or this drain. Basically the pallet there, I want to take the drain just to the right of the right hand pallet. And then, but what I'll do is, because that pallet's in the way, and I'm not tonight or today, I should say, I'm not actually going to move the scraps of wood that's in there. What I'm going to do is I'll just take it up to this point and then stop, and we'll call this side done for the day. At least if any water does come down, it can actually, I've controlled it almost all the way to the bottom. Right, let's get back in and get this final little bit done. Okay, so I've been up the hill with the blade just dragging behind me on the left hand side, and I came down the hill with the blade dragging behind me on the right as we look at it here. Didn't work so well coming down the hill, obviously, as you can see. There's a lot more grass clumps on the right hand side, so I'll go back up the hill with the blade dragging and see what sort of effect we can have there. Try and smooth it over a little bit, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the process of digging the drainage ditch on the right hand side. Trench. I need to do that a little bit deeper because really conscious, as you can see, this area fills with ferns, so this needs to be a really well defined trench once all the ferns are back as well. So I'll come back up here and do it just a little bit deeper, and then I don't need to worry about this once the ferns grow back. Obviously this whole area takes all the water off that roof as well. That's sloped back to hit the ground here, so yep, definitely need to really capture it well and capture the water well and divert it away from the road. So I'll just come back up and just take one more quick scoop out the upper section here, and then pretty much where it is there we'll start to take that downhill then. Okay, let's keep going. So I'm about 3/4 of the way down the hill now. The trench over there. See, I'm gonna have a few sort of issues when once this is all sort of settled. In that it's going to take a bit, obviously, as you can see in this camera now, it's going to take a bit to get the water over to the right hand side. So what I'll end up doing, once this is all settled down, I'll end up digging some ditches on an angle, so any water that's coming down here will then get diverted off into the ditch I've just dug. I'll do 3 or 4 of those as we go. I'll find the low spots and I'll target the low spot to use that to help me move the water around. As you can see, it's pretty uneven, this ground. I think what I'm going to have to do is leave it for quite a few weeks, let a lot of this grass and these sods of earth sort of get weathered and die off, and maybe drive up and down here a few times to sort of break it all up a bit, and then come back with the excavator, or maybe even hire a bobcat and smooth this whole area out and make these drains work properly. But anyway, let's keep going and try and get this finished. Not far now. I'll do the same thing. Take it down almost to the bottom and then stop, because there's lots to do at the bottom there, and I think it's pointless putting that drain in all the way down there, because it'll be in the way of some of the other things that I need to do. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, so that's going to do for it for today on this job. As you can see, it's still very uneven. I've been through dragging the blade with the excavator, but a lot of this needs to sort of dry out and die off, and then I can bring the excavator and use it like a bulldozer. The dozer blade on the front and sort of pass up and down, and we'll soon get this levelled out like we've done in the past. But I think for now it's a case of let all this grass die off and then come and tackle it properly. Put the mud bucket on and the dozer blade on the front and sort this out. Looking at it, it does feel like I need to come in with the mud bucket and the dirt on the left, drag it over to the right a bit more. But I guess let's let it all settle down first. I'll possibly find that within a few weeks, a lot of this sort of dirt that's looks like it's piled really high is actually on a clump of grass. So a bit of rain, it'll all settle in, and then we'll know exactly what we're dealing with. Alright, so I'm going to call it for this project for today. Done what I wanted to do, and I'll come back in a few weeks and look at finishing it off. So if you've enjoyed this one and you'd like to see more, click that subscribe button. Share it with your friends, and don't forget to click like. And if you've got any comments or suggestions, stick them in the comments box below, and I'll reply to them as soon as I get a chance. Right, so it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Bailey. Bailey, guard, 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 Bailey, guard, guard.